Ed says, Miran, what is your view on addiction? Okay, Rosie. Ed says, Miran, what is your view on addiction, whether it's whether it being gambling or anything? What is the solution? Is it linked to OCD? Well, in a way, yes, and in a way, no. Many things that they show themselves, um, it has behavior of OCD, but it may not be uh, um, easily categorized as OCD, but it follows similar path. You know, in OCD, you have a obsession and there's a compulsion to make you feel good. And every time that you do that compulsion, it makes you feel good and safe and convinced that you have completed the cycle of that attack or urge. There's also something else happening at that moment. Because you feel good and content, there is a secretion of dopamine right there, because the center that secretes dopamine in midbrain is right below where the center for creating habit takes place. So every time that you do the compulsion, you get a shot of dopamine, and now you're beginning to train yourself into a habit of getting the dopamine. After a while, you're not realizing it, but you're kind of looking forward to do the compulsion because that will give you that feeling of, I feel good, and that's because of the dopamine. So you're actually creating a habit through doing the compulsion, getting the dopamine. So dopamine is now making you to rewire your brain and turn this into a habit rather than just an OCD. So while you somehow feel that compulsion, like obsession for gambling, there's a compulsion to actually do it, maybe that's what we can say. And then when you keep doing it and you feel somehow engaged, which goes up and down for you, but you have that feeling that the compulsion from the urge of wanting to do gamble is happening and you feel good up and down through that process, then you get this dopamine come and go. And in order to get that dopamine, you continue the gambling. Next round, I lost now, but I gotta get that dopamine to feel good. And how do I do it? By do the compulsion, by do continue the gambling. And eventually maybe you get a shot of dopamine because things go your way. That is the cycle of beginning of your addiction. And then through that whole process, there's something else is happening, which is habitual. You're becoming, this becomes your habit. Now that's going to be more difficult to break than even the OCD, the habit part. So simply endure that urge for doing the compulsion. Not even that will break that cycle, also stops you from becoming more and more dependent on dopamine. And therefore, you also will break the habit. And redirect your mind to something else as something to give you that dopamine. And that should be something like things that are healthy that makes you feel good. Like, I don't know, some sports, some exercise, something that it is, even if it becomes a habit, it's a good habit. So everything you do a lot of becomes your habit. So make damn sure that it's a good one that becomes your habit, that is good for you. Otherwise, you're going to be in deep shit. Look, guys, it is very important It is very important, vitally important, absolutely important, life and death important, that you understand that there is a separation between thought and you. What you think is not you. What thought appears in your brain is not you. Do not look at it as that is representation of you, that is you, you are deciding. No, it's thought suggesting, and thought has no business thinking that it is you, and you have no business to allow such implication that thought is you to happen in your understanding. You must always consider that you're above a thought. A thought is your subordinate. Thought is your tool. Thought is a feature. Thought is a capability. Thought is a stick you have in your hand. You do what you want to do with it, not that. Tail is not wagging the dog. You are the dog. You are the boss. You are the stallion. You are whatever you want to think of it. You are the supreme leader of you. You are the me. Thought is a fragment of the subservience of the me. Me is the judge. I judge this thought, that thought, what I see there, if I want to continue to look at it, if I choose not to look at it. I am the boss. I am the master. Thought is not me. I am not thought. Thought is nonsense. I override thought at all times. You must understand, you are not your thought. You are not thought that appears in your head. You're not your thought, let alone intrusive thoughts. If you understand that, you will always feel that confidence that you're above it all, above the one that you have been complying or following for no goddamn reason other than having been misled all through your life. If you understand that, then you're an independent person feeling confident because you are superior to anything else that could even want to try to manipulate you, put false ideas in your head, lead you wrong, or dominate you in any shape or form. You reclaim the me. That's where everything takes place. You're the boss. You got to create that in your head because that is the truth. If we have enough time to talk about the role that thought plays and how rogue it can go, how malfunctioning it can go, on all the other things that psychologically we're attacked by, negative thoughts, intrusive thoughts, thoughts that pop up, and not understanding these will stray you wrong, lead you astray. So, having said that, let's go back to our questions here.